is Devon Speech, and she is doing her second speech from her Pathways project, and it's Innovative Planning is what the pathway is called. And today will be her first of 3 speeches. For this assignment, she will be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes, and she is being evaluated by Kelly, and the goal of the speech will be to implement the feedback Kelly gives to her and to deliver an improved version of the speech next week. And I'm very excited because this is the first time we've had this project in this club, so it's going to be exciting to see how it turns out. And her title is Get Uncomfortable. Help me welcome her to the lecture.
Who's my timer? Are you timing? Okay. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, our welcome guest. Today, I am going to ask you to, first things first, stand up on your feet. Everybody up. All right, now that we're up, let's put our right hand in the air. All right, we all know right from left. Now let's put our left hand in the air. Now, wave it around like you just don't care. Ooh, 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 ooh. And that's it. Great job. I'm going to have you sit. I guess I should have previewed that in the title that we're going to get uncomfortable today. But the title of my speech is Get Uncomfortable. And fellow Toastmasters, today I'm going to tell you about something that I've been doing since the beginning of May, twice a week, to make myself superbly uncomfortable. And to start, it is a job that I have, and many of you have probably heard of it, and that is that I am an instructor at a prison. Okay, so not only does that make me uncomfortable to say to people on a daily basis, it is a very uncomfortable process throughout the day. So I'm going to take you through the process of what it's like for me to prepare, travel to, and make my way to what I would consider my normal form of employment. So to start, I am a very last-minute person. I've talked about my procrastination in this club before, and that permeates every aspect of my life, including my employment. So this job is the first job that I've ever had where that's not a possibility, including my wardrobe. So this is the first time in my life that I'm thinking about my outfit a day before, because there's a dress code. So I'm ready ahead of time. It's, I'm going into a prison. I'm nervous. I think, what am I going to wear? Well, can't be form-fitting at all. Obviously professional, but professional in some places doesn't necessarily mean professional here. So got to have all closed-toed shoes, no denim, nothing with a hood, nothing that would set anybody off in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so I gotta think ahead. And if, maybe we have a dress or something that we might wear that'd be okay, well, it's gotta be long. Okay, so I gotta think about these things ahead of time. No denim, so nothing jean. And again, with the closed-toed shoes, because, I might have to make a break for it at any time. So that's one thing that makes me uncomfortable right out the gate, is really consciously thinking about what am I wearing and am I drawing attention that could possibly cause harm to me or to others. So once I have my outfit picked every day on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have been leaving early. And when I say I leave early, I gotta arrive there 30 minutes ahead of time just to get into the building. Now this, I've never been late, I'm not a late to work kind of gal, but 30 minutes early, now that is a lot for a procrastinator like me. So I look at the clock, about 4 o'clock, I'm thinking, all right, let's pick out that outfit if it's not already laid out, make sure everything's appropriate. Make sure I take my Fitbit off because I can't bring that in with me, so I leave that one at home. And I get in the car and I prepare myself for the drive to East Cleveland. All right, I'll say the east side, not specifically East Cleveland, but I make my way down 71 and I head to my Broadway exit and I'm on East 30th. So pull up East 30th and right away, you get that warning sign, or you're in a different spot. It's a big sign that says, no turnarounds. So don't come in here if you don't mean to be here. So no turnarounds, I pull in. I pull in and I park my car and I'm facing away, and it's my last look at the outside. That's how the parking works. And I get out of my car, and before I do that, I have to once over my body and make sure I have everything I need, which is minimal. So, all right, you might think your purse comes with me everywhere, right? Not into the prison. Okay, so no purse, because I definitely can't take any hand sanitizer, because you cannot bring anything in that has any trace amounts of alcohol in it. So no hand sanitizer, which is like, because there's addicts in there and they might try to drink it, which is a shocking thought, right as you're about to go into work. Okay, cell phone, case of emergency. Nope, that can't come in. I usually leave my Fitbit at home because I like to minimize the amount of valuables that I leave in my car. All I can take in with me are my keys, which I need to have pockets or a loop to hook it on, and my trusty contractor badge, so they know that I'm supposed to be there. Okay, so then I have my clear backpack with only my things for class in it. So right now I have my prescriptions in there. It's because it's hot outside. I didn't want to leave them in the car, but those would not be allowed to come in with me. And I make my way into the prison. I get the clear backpack just to make sure that the COs, it makes their job easier to not have to go through everything in my bag. They can see it from the outside, and it just makes them like me a little bit more because I'm being courteous of their time. So I get out of my car, I make sure I have everything I'm supposed to. I saddle up and I walk up to the first gate. So the first gate's got big barbed wires all around it, and I gotta ring the doorbell. Ring the doorbell, get a nice welcome. Yeah, who is it? This is Devon, I'm a contractor from Youngstown State. All right, me, I get let in. Up to the next set of double doors, where again, I get to walk in one, but then I have to wait to get buzzed in by, again, the people at the front door. So I come in. Boy, this is a lot of work just to make it all the way up to the front desk, where I have to take everything off that I brought in with me and put it into a container, much like an airport container for your carry-on stuff. I have to show my badge. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is me. Hopefully they're in a nice mood, because I didn't anticipate this, but they don't really like the educators that come in there, because some people don't believe in educating prisoners. So right off the bat, sometimes I'm just getting the stink eye. So on with my day, I put my stuff in, I sign into 2 binders, and I walk through a metal detector. Okay? So I get through, everything passes, I strap back on, and I grab my keys and I walk around the counter and I head to a woman who's behind this fenced-in, gated-off area, and I give her my prized chits. These are my chits. And they say D. Skunta on there. And each one gives me a set of keys and what we call a man-down button. And the man-down button I test and in a GPS system, and what that button is for is should anything happen to me, somebody puts me in a compromising position, I push that button, and they're alerted to exactly where I am on the compound, and the COs will come and rescue me. From there, now after this usually takes about 15 minutes, I've got my stuff, I got my man-down button, I've got my keys, and I head to the classroom where I have one more sheet I need to fill out to enter a different building, and I'm on my merry way. And then it's like any other college situation. My students are my students when they're in my room, and they're unlike or very similar to anybody else that I would be teaching on a college campus. This whole process is what makes this whole experience uncomfortable, because I get there and you wouldn't even know that I was in a prison. We're in a classroom setting, everybody really wants to learn, they're very eager. And from this experience, from the discomfort level that I feel throughout this whole process, I've grown so much to appreciate what I have, the resentment that I feel inwardly when I go to leave at night because I formed these relationships with the students who I know they're not going to go home. They're just walking over to their bunk, and it's like we formed these relationships, and I walk in the door and I close that gate behind me, and I have this sense of appreciation as I see the skyline, you know? And there's something really powerful about what happens to you when you put yourself in those uncomfortable situations. And that's where I found that I've grown the most. And what I had you do at the beginning of the class, when you stood up and I made you raise your hands in the air and dance like you just don't care, I made you uncomfortable. Maybe not all of you, but some of you would imagine that was an uncomfortable thing to do. Now, once you did that, imagine coming up here and doing table topics. So you just danced in the boardroom in front of a bunch of people. You could come up here and talk for 2 minutes. And we grow when we step out of our comfort zone. And imagine if you spent more than just 3 seconds dancing with your hands over your head. Okay? The time I spend in that prison, that's 6 hours a week that I'm so uncomfortable that I'm not thinking about what's going on with me. Right? When you were dancing and flailing your arms in the air, I promise you weren't worrying about what you have to do with your boss after this, how much laundry you have, where you gotta go to the grocery store. So step out of yourself and out of your comfort zone, and I really believe that's where we all benefit and go through the most growth. Thank you.